I'm about to start my analysis of the Crilley Mastering Manga #2 book. You can see I've already started my clock for my Pomodoro session. And it seems like the first project we're going to need to do is how to draw manga eyes, right? So real quick, I'm going to show you how I draw my eyes already. Just like you see on the side right here, the three lines, or the three squares they make into horizontal lines. I basically do something similar to that, except I do 3 circles, right? So let's see, I'm going to show you right here. 1, I'll try to keep them even sized. 2, and 3. I was taught when I did human anatomy in college that basically the eyes are one eyeball apart from each other. So it's a little benchmark I use in order to make sure that I have the right distance between 2 eyes. And I usually kind of just put that there like this. That's for the eyelid, right? I can go into that, kind of reaching into the nose, because straight down the middle of this is going to be the nose, but I digress. So, guys gotta see it. Alright, I'm doing my style first, and then I'm gonna do the manga style, because I am trying to integrate 2 styles together, or a couple styles together, so I can recreate my style into something I can that I like. And maybe I'm a little bit judgmental of myself, I don't know, but I like to play with different styles, and I always find the additions I add are very good. So as you can see, these eyes have a good distance between each other. That's because I follow that rule. That's a human anatomy rule, by the way, y'all. 1 eyeball apart. Each eye is 1 eyeball apart. And that is the whole eyeball. So think about that when you see it. I'm just sketching this out so you guys can kind of see what I mean, my mind, my process when I'm doing this. And yeah, that's basically 2 human eyeballs. And then of course little flesh marks right here between them, just to create the illusion of depth between them. And then I have my lid, the top of my lid. I normally do as well when I draw. And then you have, you know, this part and that part, and then I just kind of do my thing here. And I don't really draw a line. I know in anime you kind of draw a line to represent, or like a shape to represent the highlight. I don't do that at all. I just kind of leave that area blank. But yeah, this would be my style of how to draw an eye, or eyeballs. Then of course, in this particular tutorial, they're going to want to put the eyebrows in. So I put that right over the eyelid in a similar direction that the eyelid goes. So as you can see, I'm doing it like that, and kind of just following that direction of the shape that my eyebrow or my eyelids go. And then I can just draw a little square, or kind of square here, and then a little triangle here. And that's normally how I do my brows. And then there you go. My eyebrows. Square, and then a little triangle kind of going down here. You can use eyebrows to like express the emotion of the character a little bit too. I like to use that to do so. But that's kind of how my eyes would look if I were drawing it my style. I draw it very realistic, which is why it takes me a while to draw anything, because I like detail. Now, I'm going to have to, in order to do their style, right, I'm going to adjust my camera just a tad bit to this area right here. If my camera doesn't fall over, it looks like it is, I'm just going to level it off. Maybe do it right underneath it. Yep, that's fine. That's fine. So I'm now going to do it the Mark Crilley way, which I like the way he does it. It says draw 2 horizontal lines. I'm going to grab my ruler because for the purposes of study, I want to make sure y'all are aware of how important it is to have everything lined up. So I normally use the ends of the paper as a rule. And then make sure it's straight on the end. As soon as the ends of the paper line up with the end of this ruler, I do that line right there. It says 2 horizontal pencil lines about 1 inch apart. So now, I got that line. I'm going to do this real quick. It says about 1 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and make that little mark right there. From that mark, I am going to go ahead and go back to the end of this paper. Right here. My tape is lining up there too, so wowzers. Hopefully that's straight enough. And then I'm going to write another straight. Oh, my ruler dropped a little bit. Another straight line. This is about 1 inch apart. However, I noticed that me just doing it with a ruler, I made a little bit of a mistake, but that's fine. I'm going to do the same rule I did with this one. So I'm going to do 1 eyeball apart. I'm just going to eyeball it. Get it? Eyeball it. Yep, I'm eyeballing it. 3 try to keep it as even size as I could. I could use a ruler to make it even size, but being a little bit lazy. I'm trying to just do the right technique. And when I'm drawing, I'm not going to be using rulers like that, except maybe to get the human anatomy part of the body nicely spaced. I like to use the ruler for that, but aside from that, I kind of freehand it. So that's about equal distance. So in the book it says, yeah, draw it equal distance apart. It's following the same principle as my eyeball rule, really. I just like using the eyeball rule because it's circular. God isn't trying to build things in straight lines. You'll notice that as you guys start studying art, he does not create things in straight lines like that. Not as far as natural things go, more like arcs and curves in circles. So the next instruction says draw eyebrows and upper lower eyelashes. Note the angle of each line and curve. Some are very gentle, others are more pronounced. Finally, note the distance between the lines. Use the initial guidelines to help you see where all the various elements belong. Make it manga style, right? So, right over this is where the eyebrow is. So I'm just going to start with the guideline for that. It kind of starts at the end of this line right here, and it goes over. Right. It's all about the line work when it comes to manga, really. They like simpler shapes, and simpler shapes are more appealing to the eye. And that's how we draw things, really. That's how everybody draws things. They draw the eyelid like so, right? So I'm going to go ahead right here and start. I'm looking at the distance between my original artwork and that. And there, it kind of arcs up. And it curves in like this. And I'm just gently touching it early. Whenever I do these, I gently touch so I can fix it if I need to. This is an HB pencil. You can use any pencil really, but HB is just a regular pencil, just like the regular pencil you buy from the store. I have other ones. I like to use the darker ones for later, but I'm going to be inking this, right? So since I'm inking it, there is no reason for me to try and do that. So I'm looking at this picture, I'm realizing that I did not go far enough. So I'm going to go far enough. Do it like so. I like that. That's more like it. And then this last line goes here. And then this is the top of it, so the bottom is going to go like this. It's going to go like up a little later. And I'm going to follow that same rule here. I'm just correcting it because this is the first iteration. I'm going to have to do a couple of these so you guys have the thrill of enjoying me do a couple of these. Isn't that great? So yeah. Now I'm drawing that arc for the eyebrow. Boom. And there you are. That's the first shape for the first eye. Doing the second shape for the second eye. It's more like this. You can kind of line up the eyebrow too. So I'm going to do it like that. I still have a good half of the circle, so really, I'm going to start this a little bit lower. Because I'm trying to get it as close to what I'm seeing on this book of mine as possible. And talking and doing this is actually incredibly challenging for me, so yeah. I might just stop talking and then do a video or audio over what I'm doing later. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing, at least on TikTok, when I time-lapse this stuff. But for now, I'm just doing a quick little it's fine for me to color it in a little bit because I'm going to be erasing all this anyway. It's just a guideline for what I'm going to do when I ink it. And yes, we're going to be inking today as well because my goal is to become a graphic novelist. Inking is an incredibly good skill set to have, the ability to ink and ink well. So I've been practicing. Now, we have our two eyelids and lower eyelash. And yes, apparently this little shape right here is the lower eyelash. So yeah, all right. And now the second step says, add the iris of each eye, including the oval shapes for highlights. So they use oval shapes for the highlights, as I was saying earlier. A large oval at the top and a small one in the middle on the right side. The pupil of each eye in this style resembles a crescent moon. Which, you know, I could see how that could be like a cultural thing. Anime is Japanese, has a Japanese background, from my understanding. And one of the Japanese goddesses, or gods, it's actually a god, I think, Tsukiyomi, god of the moon. It's like a crescent moon's shape when you see him. I'm not sure how true that is, but I guess whenever I see like artwork of him, I always see like a crescent moon. I never see like a full moon. So I don't know if that's indicative of it, but yep. So I'm going to do the oval thing. You said a small oval right here. And a little shape going up like this. And it's getting skinny. It's going up. Circle. Up. Like so. Like so. Into that. And then I'm going to be doing this. Like so. Something like a sideways crescent moon. So that's what I'm kind of doing. I know it's going to be like a bigger shape than that, so I'm looking at it, trying to show y'all both so y'all can understand what I'm doing here. If you're wondering how I'm drawing like this, I draw with my arm a little bit. That's how I learned how to draw from life drawing classes. And it is good for getting that natural arc going. Plus, you're less likely to get carpal tunnel. I've still yet to get it, so that's great. And I've been drawing for years. And typing. It's just the right movement of the arm. Overworking your wrist is how you get that carpal tunnel syndrome, from my understanding. So it's good to just know what you're doing to prevent that from happening. So you see how the little crescent moon thing going there? Boom! Alright. And then now my next eye, which is the exact same, but a little slimmer, because I guess this is foreshortened. So this eye is slightly looking at a different angle, backwards. Still doing that little outer eye shape. Alright, boom, right, boom. And then I have this one right here. Boom. Boom. I'm going to connect it at half. This circle goes in the eye a little bit more than the other one did, as opposed to out of the eye. So I'm going to do that little circle there. Then I'm going to just arc it back up along that same line. And then yes, sir. Might have done that a little bit off right there, but here we are. Boom. So I'm bringing it up. Bringing this up. And there we are. Beautiful, right? So that is using the shapes. Notice how that I said they had a lot of the oval shapes. That is just to kind of separate the different parts of the eye. They do that with everything in anime, by the way. Everything is kind of blocked out in shapes. You don't see it with the anime artists that much just doing it freehand because they already know where the shapes are, so they don't have to think about it like that. But when you're starting to do any other style, you want to get the shapeage, and then you want to get the line work, really. The line work is that thickness or lightness of the line. So now I'm going to go to the next part, which seems to be the surrounding parts, the details like the lines that fold the eye or the eyelid, eyelashes on the left and right edges of the upper eyelids, and some of the shading lines across each iris. Feel free to experiment with your own shading style if you like, which I might, but for the sake of the video, I'm going to try to keep it the same. So as you can see, I didn't keep enough space in the squares I wrote, so I'm going to come out a little bit of my area right here. For that eyelid line. Try to keep it going in that same direction still, it seems. So they still follow the basic rules of anatomy with some of this. To kind of follow the shape of the bones, or that piece of the bone that's covering the eye a little bit. And I just do this. Never really like doing this part of this. But yeah, there it is. The eyelashes they have at the end. The cute anime girls, right? Then you have the lines. So this is not going to be, this is going to be inked, so I'm just going to go straight through it with everything. So I know where I'm putting my ink lines. And go right over it in the same way. Boom. This is called hashing. But I'm doing it a little bit more carefully because I want to just do it the right way, the way they're doing it, with each line the same. Do the same thing on this side. That first line doesn't go all the way through. That second line doesn't either. Oh, it's the third one. But the last three look like they are. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Something like that. Of course, I'm not going through my highlights because my highlights are pure light. So I'm going to darken this a little bit so I can see it. And then, same thing here. Except since I'm seeing it at a better angle, you can see more of the thickness of it. And there you go. That is the eyelashes. Then we have this part right here, the eyelid, which is following that same shape. There we are. Boom. So now I have them shapes. And then it's time to ink, but my Pomodoro session is about to be up. As you can see, I have 5 minutes left. So for that sake, I'm going to probably tone up these eyebrows a little bit. I can do that in 5 minutes, and less really. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. And I'm going to go ahead and set up my ink session. You guys have the luxury of watching me do that, right? All right. So, you get this luxury of seeing me set up my ink session. So, I'm going to go ahead and drop this desk of mine down because I don't like the ink upright like it is now. So, put it up all the way down. Drop my thing more. Might be too low right there. Let's see, right here is good. Just let it stop falling. There we are. So, can see me set up my ink. I'm using Indian ink, high carb. Right, and I'm going to be using my quill. Nice little ink quill right here. I got this from Michael's. It's probably not. It's fading a little bit, but let's see if we can see. There you go. Yeah. Nice little gold tip ink quill. And normally, right? Normally, I have a little thing to put my drawings in. Or not my drawings, but my bayonet. But I don't. So, since I don't have a little, like a paint thing, I forgot what it's called. Crazy, I can't remember it. I'm just going to be dipping it directly in this. But this thing has a little tubular thing where I can like squeeze the top and then drop a little bit of it on my quill. So that's what I'm going to be doing. That means I have to do myself the favor, right, of making sure that I don't over ink myself. So I'll do a couple lines on the side like this, and then I'll do my ink. And then you have my pen cleaner. And then I just clean my pen. But as you can see, my Pomodoro session is about to end because I'm at 25 minutes on the clock here on the phone. I started my recording before I started actually the thing. But it should be going off any time now. And then after that little break, I'm going to show you all how to ink. Perfectly ended. Great time to start the next video, I guess. Thank you guys for watching. It's about to go off. I guess I should wait and let y'all see it go off. So.